Hey there, welcome back. It's time for the golden age of DC Comics, 365 days, where I take this beloved hardcover coffee table book given to me about 2 decades ago by one of my best friends. This has been surfing my coffee table ever since and it's provided me with lots of great conversation about comic books, the kind that we used to have in the comic book shops on any given Wednesday. New release day. And I use this 365 days book for its intended purpose. I open it up to today's date, which is August the 29th. We're going to look at some comic book art of an antediluvian age. We're going to read the blurb, and then we're going to talk about comic books. And we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. Let's see, this is an Abrams 2004 publication, written and curated by Geoff Spear, Chip Kidd, and Les Daniels. You can find the link to the Amazon page in the description. You can get your own copy and play along at home, or it makes a great gift for a geek. I know. I also do something called the Escapism Caveat, and I have made a separate video, which I'm going to put in the corner at the end of the video, where I've given it its own time to air out, and I can fully express a better opinion outside of, say, a minute and a half. And so yeah, tune in, give a comment if you'd like. The Golden Age of DC Comics runs between 1938 and 1955. The Silver Age between 1956 and 1970. The Bronze Age, I'm a Bronze Age baby, 1970 to 1985. And the Copper Age begins in 1985. I get these standards from the glossary section of the most current Overstreet comic book price guide. I feel it's a great place to start having some standards that we can all agree on. And I love having conversations about the ages of comics, especially what age we're in currently, what age did we just leave, and what came before that, and where we're heading into. I can't accept that the modern age of comic books has been going on since 1992-93. That's a bit too long. Too much has happened, too many stories have been told, and too many changes have been made, especially to our beloved comic book industry. So let's get to it. Let's crack this book open to today's date. It is August the 29th. I hope you are doing awesome, and I hope you are clobbering your problems and not being clobbered by them. Today, our friend Plastic Man shows up, and it's an old conceit, and we're going to get into it because we've seen it before, and we're going to see it again, and we love seeing it in comic books. This is story and art by Jack Cole from Plastic Man number 21, January of 1950. And there's double trouble because there are 2 plastic men here. Or is it Plastics Man? Or, yeah, no. Coincidentally, I got blocked on Twitter by a reputable film account that talks about film, and especially a lot. It's basically blocked half of my the fandom that I'm associated with, because they were talking about last year's hubbub about who is Captain America and what makes a Captain America, and they said Captain America's, but isn't it Captain's America? And I said, I'm a high school graduate and I know that, and you college educated kids don't. Maybe they need a bailout. Oh, wah, 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 wah. Sorry, I went there. I said it. I'm a funny guy, but sometimes my jokes aren't that funny. I know. I laugh at the most inappropriate things. It's just who I am. I guess, I'll be next on the wall with a cigarette and a blindfold because of that, right? Okay, but let's get to it. That means you were also Boozy Winks, and also that animated salt sack. You can change into anything you see. Whack, slam, bop. And as you can see, our good guy, Plastic Man, has got the upper hand on his evil double. Let's read the blurb. Perhaps the ultimate expression of the evil twin idea, this insane, surreal panel has become a classic example of Jack Cole's remarkable cartooning. The foe, that means fake, Plastic Man that the real Plastic Man grapples with is actually a morpho, the shape-shifting alien who must be stuffed back into his spaceship and sent off into the cosmos. Arresting the creature was not an option. Plastic Man explains because he would have changed into anything and escaped. Internet logic. Yeah, well, you would have fit in quite well. That's what we got today. We've got Plastic Man and an evil twin. And the evil twin idea is a really good old-fashioned comic book standby. And we're just going to go through a couple of them, you know? And it starts in the golden age for us in the DC Comics with the rival, Edwin Claris, the first Reverse Flash. He premiered in February of 1949. There was Bizarro, who is the Bizarro Superman. We all know Bizarro. The name was so... See, Superman is so pervasive in American culture that we use the word Bizarro for its intended meaning. But, I mean, it's kind of divorced from its origin. And its origin is this character, a Bizarro version. People, you could say Bizarro, and people know that this is an ersatz flawed reproduction. That's kind of backwards of its original intent. And that's exactly what Bizarro is. Bizarro first appeared in Superboy number 68 in 1958 as a mirror image of Superman. And he's often portrayed as not being so bright, doing things the opposite way, and even his speech patterns are opposite. So if Bizarro says something in the negative, that means he's going to be doing it. And if he says something in the positive, the same suits. That means that he won't be doing that. Yeah, so there was a running joke in Bizarro's word balloons. And it takes a kid to, really appreciate that and to figure out what's going on with Bizarro speak. There's also, there have been a couple of Reverse Flashes. The Reverse Flash for Barry Allen, the Silver Age Flash, premiered in Flash number 139, September of 1963. That's Edward Thawne. The Professor Zoom, the Reverse Flash. Wally Wash, the Third Flash, had his own Zoom, and that was Police Detective Hunter Zolomon. And he first appeared in Flash Secret Files and Origins of November of 2001. There was Thaddeus Thawne, who was I believe a clone. Yeah, he's a clone of Bart Allen, the 31st century speedster grandson of Barry Allen. And Thaddeus Thawne becomes Impulses. Impulse is the hero name that Bart Allen takes. Well, Inertia is the opposite of something impulsive. And so Inertia was the bad guy name, and he later on becomes Kid Zoom to Hunter Zolomon's Zoom. There's a couple of more, two more I'll bring up. One is Batman's Bizarro, the Batman Who Laughs. This character first appeared in Scott Snyder's Dark Days, the Casting number 1, September of 2017. This Batman, he's a full-on Bruce Wayne as a Batman, but there's something new called the Dark Multiverse. Seriously, it's just the toy chest and the action figures and how we play with them, but there's a dark multiverse as opposed to our multiverse of light that our heroes and even ourselves inhabit. So this dark multiverse is a good place to have what-if stories with alternate characters. And so there was a Batman. There was a Batman on almost every Earth in this dark multiverse, and there was like a league of these evil Batmen. Yeah, and that was called Metal, Dark Knight's Metal and Dark Knight's Death Metal. These two huge event comic books a couple of years ago. But this Bruce Wayne, this Batman Who Laughs, is from Earth -22. And this Bruce Wayne was infected by we got Jokerized. So he becomes the Batman Who Laughs. A Jokerized Batman, who is a Batman who is just as smart as any Bruce Wayne out there. And this Batman Who Laughs becomes one of the biggest existential threats to the DC multiverse, so much so that it gets basically torn down and rebuilt as the DC Omniverse. And that's what we've been kind of inhabiting ever since. Right now, there's a dark crisis going on right now, which is changing its title to Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths. So we'll see if that is maybe a crisis that is set on Dark Earth Prime. We don't know yet. It's 7 issues long. It's halfway done, and I'm actually tuned in and reading it. And also, I'm going to end this with one of my favorite undersung alternates, evil twins. This is Anthony Stark, the Avenger we know as Iron Man. But this Iron Man is from Earth 5012, and he was an Earth that was ravaged in a war with Titanus. Many hero dies, and Stark becomes a more violent individual because of those losses. And he fought the Fantastic Four of his world. He killed the Human Torch, but the Torch burnt his face, and eventually he was sent into our Marvel universe, what we call Marvel 616, and he was known as the Iron Maniac. I don't think they ever called Stark by that name, the Iron Maniac, but that's how we call him. And he had this silver Iron Man suit that had the peaks and the mouth grates, so it looked like a flashback, an homage to like those Silver and Bronze Age suits, and he was just flat out evil and mean. And I loved that version of Iron Man. I love Iron Man. I love Iron Man armors, and I don't think they've ever used him again. And he was that was in Marvel Team Up issues 2, 3, and 4 in November of 2004. Robert Kirkman and Scott Collins. Robert Kirkman, you'd know as the creator and writer of The Walking Dead and Invincible. Yeah, this guy is a good comic book writer. Yeah, and that's the evil twin. It's something that we've seen before, and we're gonna see it again. We got the Mirror Universe in Star Trek. We've got there is so. It seems like every property must have the Dark Mirror alternates out there, and it's actually kind of overused, but when done right, it can be really, really fun. And that's just my opinion. And thank you so much for tuning in. We've been talking about comic books, and we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So tune in tomorrow, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, and we'll find out who we're talking about when we turn the page tomorrow. Please like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. We make daily content here. We talk about comic books every day. We talk about cooking. I'm a professional chef. We talk about spirituality and purpose and gratitude. And if it's a beautiful, clear, pre-dawn morning, I'm going to point out planets. Hey, look, there's the planet Venus. I do that, and I love doing that. And I want to share this with you. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Good luck. Namaste. Have a great day, and we will see you again tomorrow in the Funny Pages. Cheers. Bye-bye.